Fous. A little sick today, but that's okay. I'm gonna push through. Hey guys, what is up? My name is Michaela Smith-Campbell, the fashion designer and founder for the fashion design brand MACK Smith, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So you guys, I'm honestly so excited today to be going over Avant Garde in today's video. I really want to touch up on this definition because for me, myself, I used to always get Avant Garde confused with Haute Couture. And you know, as you really start to research and teach yourself definitions and really research and get into different designers and different definitions specifically and terms in the fashion industry, you really start to better pick out certain terminology that you find yourself using a lot or even doing. If you guys haven't already checked out my video, check out my last video. I did do one on what Haute Couture versus Couture meant and the differences in those definitions. So if you guys want a more in-depth definition of Haute Couture, definitely check that video out. So today I will be going over what Avant Garde is and the origins of it. If you guys are watching this video by now, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video as well. So the definition of avant-garde is experimental or innovative art or design. Avant-garde is very out of this world. It's very unorthodox, and the designs or styles of what avant-garde is could be anything. It could be art pieces such as paintings. It could be fashion especially. It could be sculptures, just like anything that pushes societal norms that are very futuristic and ahead of its time. What avant-garde is. It's very bold, it's innovative, experimental, pushes boundaries, progressive. Yeah, I think you guys get it at this point. So the origins of avant-garde actually originated in France in the mid to late 19th century, and it's French for advanced garde or for garde, which is a term in the military used to describe specifically a small group of highly skilled, specialized troops that would usually break off from the military unit and go way ahead of their unit to seek out any forms of dangers to alert and go back to the main unit and just alert them of any danger in the foreseen ahead of the terrace, so to speak. So yeah, that's where the term derived from. And if you think about it, I mean, these specific groups of avant-garde people or artists, you can see how they relate because they're very skilled people who I feel like not everybody you meet is gonna be avant-garde. I feel like those kind of people you meet, they give you an experience. It's just the way they think, the way they dress, or the way they create their work and what their work is. It's an experience. So that was the origin of the actual name, but the origin of the actual avant-garde movement. So this avant-garde movement did start in the mid to late 19th century by a small group of French artists, specifically painters. They wanted to display their art pieces at the Salon des Refus exhibit. Excuse me if I'm totally butchering that name and like mispronouncing it. And this exhibit was known for, yes, displaying pieces of artwork, but they were also very conservative. A lot of these French painters had their work pieces declined by this museum because they were very conservative people, and the work pieces that they did create were very controversial for that time. So after these French artists were declined and displaying their art pieces at this exhibit, what they did is they created their own exhibits and created their own events where they displayed their art pieces, and in effect they had a lot of people, like thousands of people, showing up for their exhibit. So because a lot of their artwork attracted thousands of visitors, there became a cultural movement of rebellion in not only artwork, but fashion, sculpture, and design in general. Now, when you guys think of avant-garde, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some form of avant-garde, whether it's on the red carpet, or even better yet, a lot of avant-garde pieces when it comes to fashion, you will see commonly every year throughout the Met Gala that's held every year, the first Monday of May in New York, hosted by, of course, Vogue. I'm sure you guys, if you do follow the fashion events. It's one of the biggest fashion events of the year, and there is always a lot of avant-garde costumes, pieces, accessories, like you name it. It's always like avant-garde. Avant-garde is formed by people who just want to break free of societal expectations and people who do appreciate the form of art on a human body, as avant-garde is notorious for reshaping the human body concept and figuring out ways how the human body and the clothes or pieces of artwork relate to its environment. Definitely a form of art, and it's so exciting. I love avant-garde. Avant-garde, the style and fashion, it just doesn't really come overnight. I feel like avant-garde, it really is about I feel like there's several steps, but yet it's also about like having fun and experimenting. I think the first step when even trying to consider creating an avant-garde style, it's about, number one, experimenting. There's no rules to avant-garde whatsoever, and I think that's the fun, carefree part of it. So you're really trying to figure out mixing and matching, whether it be texture, colors, fabric, shape, accessories especially. So you're really just experimenting like different things and what looks good together, what looks really interesting and unique and eclectic, but yet still works well together. The next thing on the list when you are creating an avant-garde style and look, it's really about telling a story. It's really about adding drama. It's about playing with contrast of cuts, jewelry, accessories, hair, makeup. So everything basically like telling a story, whether it's hair, makeup, accessories, jewelry. You know, you really want to get a story out to the viewer, pleasing to the eye. Yeah. And then I feel like this is a really big one. It's like I'm kind of contradicting what I'm saying, and I know it. I'm telling you to have fun, and you know, it's having no rules. But also for this one, it's about paying attention to detail. So you're looking at the weave, the hemline, the stitching, the shape, volume of your garment, the versatility. Oh my God, the versatility especially. Some avant-garde pieces, they could be very versatile, and I think that's what can make something funky. You can have zippers in it. So if you were to have this big dress or oversized t-shirt to like, I don't even know, the ground and dragging, you know, if you have zippers and you can wear it in different ways by zippering certain parts or zippering certain parts to make it more longer. It's just the attention to detail really makes a whole difference. And it also allows the wearer to interact. How the wearer interacts when you do add these little bits of details in it is so important, because again, you're wearing a piece of art. That's what avant-garde really is. It's about the wearability of art on the human body form. So you really have to make sure whatever the person's wearing to tell their story, it is very interactive. The person feels comfortable. They know how to move the piece, because that's what you're doing. You're essentially moving the piece to create a story. And just the way you move is, you know, you just want to make sure that it's interactive with the actual person, that they can interact with it. It's easy for them to move around and adjust and be able to sometimes even wear their story. Of course, for avant-garde, it really does help to make a mood board. I feel like avant-garde, because it's not an everyday style that you do see, and these styles are mainly, you see them on red carpet events or these really high fashionable events, or even if you do want to dress avant-garde in your everyday style and you're like an artsy design person that goes to galleries, exhibits, museums, and that's just you, I would really highly recommend creating mood boards so that you can see for yourself what you like, what you feel comfortable in, because that you really want to feel comfortable in these clothes, because they're not everyday wear kind of clothes or layering or volume or, you know, whatnot. And you also want to see, you know, what you want to do. So do you want a color story? You know, you got to make a mood board. You know, it helps you with the color story. It helps you figure out what details really you love, what inspires you. Thing just clicks to you that you'll actually enjoy wearing and experimenting on, because avant-garde, it's not a trendy thing. You're gonna be very different when you are around, you know, the common everyday people, and you're on social media especially. You see the same trends over and over and over again. People wearing the same kind of, you know, same cut blazer, the same colors, So I think sometimes when you're constantly in that trend, that's all you see, so it's hard to get inspiration outside. So you really got to research, and that's why I also recommend creating a mood board, so you can kind of step out of society's trends and kind of just figure out what you like and what also adapts and works for you. On top of that, when it comes to research, I would just lastly just recommend looking at avant-garde icons. One person I always think of when I think of avant-garde for some reason is David Bowie. I loved his style, his hair, I mean the makeup, how he was like known for that like flash for his eye. I mean, for that time back in the day, that was very him. He was comfortable, he didn't care, worked for him, and that's what he's known for, you know, like just his style, David Bowie. And he would dye his hair crazy colors, and you know, that's what very avant-garde is. It's freedom of expression, wearable art, it's fun, it's carefree, but you know, it represents yourself and your personality to like the highest art form power. And it's also an attitude. Like avant-garde is like, if you not everybody can't wear avant-garde, because it's all about having an attitude, like a carefree attitude. Like if you're gonna wear avant-garde, you wear it, you rock your stuff, and people are gonna stare at you. I mean, that's what avant-garde is. It's very rare, expressive pieces. People are gonna stare at you, that's okay. But like, you know, it really is an attitude. It's a rebellious art movement. It's like an I don't give a fuck movement. Honestly, you guys, like, it really is about attitude. Just like wear that shit, rock that shit, and just regardless of what people say, whether people think it's tacky. I mean, if you love avant-garde and you want to express yourself to like the highest art forms, I mean, do you. And for me, myself, I honestly appreciate avant-garde. I love researching, looking at people, icons, you know, even some fashion shows that do have pieces of avant-garde in them. Like, I love you guys. Super fun to watch too. It really takes you out of everyday elements. It's so inspiring to me. When you see avant-garde, you're like, oh, like, let me look at that. Like, what is that? Like, you know, I'm inspired. I love the way this person put these two textures together, or these zippers and these buttons together. I really like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below on avant-garde style and some designers that you have noticed who have been doing a lot more avant-garde. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. Again, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.